this is a great tool. So we and the president Raghu wanted to empower all the member community by introducing this job board platform where we can collaborate and share our requirements and hot list with the members. So I just wanted to show from our ITServe.org, you can access the job board as well as from the glue up tool. As you can see on my screen, there is a right side, there is a blue color button where if you click on the button, so it is going to open up. So we implemented a single sign-on where you can use the same credentials to access the Gustav job board. So as soon as you log in, something looks like this. I just wanted to introduce Gustav CEO John to the team so that he can go over more details about the tool and his team. John, without further ado, I just want to welcome you to the ITServe, and I request you to introduce yourself and your team and go over more details about the tool.
Perfect.
John? Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dasrat. That's super nice. Let me see if I can share my screen briefly.
Yes.
I can allow that. Awesome. Just 1 second. I'm going to pull that up here.
Were you able to do?
Yes, got it here. Awesome. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah, just to let everybody know. So once the demo is over, I'm going to ask. I know the most of the features about the tool. Just to introduce the commonly asked questions, I'm going to ask John to show if he misses anything. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat. I'm going to try to cover everything that you have. Okay,
Perfect.
John, all yours.
That's good. Thanks, Dasha. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the call today. My name is Jan. I am the founder of Gustav. With me in the call here is Rupesh. He's our business development manager. We're both gonna show you today what the job board is about. We'll talk about Gustav briefly, and we'll obviously show you a quick high-level demo of the product and how you will be able to use it with all the other ITServe members and partners, and obviously all the benefits. So I prepared just a very short presentation. We'll take a minute or so to go over it, and then I'll jump right into a demo and basically go over all the functionality. And then as I do the demo, don't hesitate to ask questions on the chat or on the Q&A section. We'll make sure to cover all of those at the end or throughout the demo. And also basically we'll put all of those into like a frequently asked questions format. So if you want to pass it on to your team, you will have it handy on a link. Let me see if now, okay, so I introduced us. I'll show you the email addresses and contact details later on where you can reach me and Rupesh directly. So I will do a quick introduction to Gustav, just one slide to give you a quick background on the company. We will talk about the use cases for the ITServe job board, so basically how you can use it. Then we'll do a demo and jump right into Q&A. So with Gustav, and maybe some of you know the product already from working with other clients or partners, we are in a short-term, expression of vendor management product, essentially helping specifically IT staffing companies to exchange available candidates with their partners, and in this case, trusted communities like ITServe. So basically what you're able to do with the product is share open jobs with your vendors and partners, share your hot list candidates and bench candidates, and basically find available talent from partners that you can place with your end clients. So that's the whole product, and we've built a couple of features that essentially help you speed up some of the interactions between the vendors. Really the major why of the ITServe job board is in some cases somebody has an available candidate somewhere coming off assignment in a week, and then somebody else has a project that would fit perfectly to this particular candidate, but right now it's pretty cumbersome to really find and match the right candidates and open jobs among the 1,400 plus members among ITServe. So that's why the ITServe job board will be a huge benefit, where you will be able to basically very quickly identify the right opportunities for you where you have a candidate, or identify the right candidates that are out in the marketplace to place with your customers, and essentially speed up and help everybody to make more revenue and make more placements throughout the year. So we are really excited about that. So essentially we are eliminating some of the status quo where you're sharing your bench candidates via email, maybe spreadsheets or PDF formats, or through WhatsApp with a couple other members. And it's not really, easy to quickly find the right candidate. And it's also pretty hard to quickly get the right feedback from other members. So all of that we hope to solve. So you'll have access to all of the ITServe members. With a click of a button, you will be able to share your open jobs, unlimited jobs, with all of the members that are in the community and in the job board. You will be able to instantly search available bench candidates across the entire ITServe community. So from each company that is representing available candidates, you can simply press a button and request candidates, and hopefully this will give you faster response times on your candidate and help you make faster placements overall. So that's just to the brief benefits. Before I jump into the demo, the three main use cases of the job board are sharing your jobs. So you will be able to share your open jobs with all of the ITServe members. The second use case is submitting your candidates to other jobs that ITServe members have shared. So you will be able to invite your recruiters and team members to the job board. They can look through all of the open job opportunities from ITServe and submit their candidates. And the third use case is what we call the hot list. So the hot list is essentially a place, an aggregated place of all available bench candidates across all ITServe members. You can search and find candidates, request and chat with other members about their candidates, and also upload your candidates and make them visible to the members. So those are also the three sort of major aspects of the demo that I will cover. I will show you how to share jobs. I will show you how to submit candidates to jobs. I will show you how to use the hot list, how you can find candidates on the hot list, and how you can add your candidates to the hot list. And last but not least, I will also show you how you can create what we call preferred groups and circles. So within the essentially ITServe community, you might have specific partners that you really like working with. You will be able to sort of create those groups, which we call circles. So I will cover that in the demo today as well. So with no further ado, I will switch over my screen and essentially walk you through how you can get started, how you can share jobs, how you can submit candidates, how you can use the hot list. And then after the demo, we will jump into some questions and we'll talk about other functionalities if I've missed anything. Alrighty, so Dashrat already showed you, you can access the job board either from within GlueUp. So if you're logged in, there's a big button, or you can also go to the ITServe website. On the top section, you find job board, and if you click this button, it will basically give you this screen. So it's this URL, app.hellogustav.com/ITServe. This is where you will be able to sign up with your existing GlueUp credentials. So basically what happens is you will get one member or like one owner account. You claim the account once through GlueUp, and then after that, you will be able to add additional team members directly from the job board. So in this way, we basically make sure that you have one manager or one person responsible for inviting other users and assigning them, and we keep sort of track of that. So make sure that you always remember to, if you want to claim your account in the beginning or log in afterwards as well, go to ITServe, hellogustav/ITServe. That's a special link. You will see the ITServe logo here, but you will also find it on the ITServe website as well as within GlueUp. When you signed up to your account, this is basically what you will see. You will drop into the product, and on the dashboard, there will be a big ITServe Alliance logo. This will basically show you that you are now part of the ITServe job board. And then on the left-hand side on the product, you will see a navigation bar. In this navigation bar, you will find a section that's called jobs. This is where you find all of the jobs that are shared by other ITServe members. That's where you will be able to share jobs and submit candidates. You will find a section that's called Hot List. This is where you can upload your candidates and find candidates of other members. You will find a section called Your Network. This is where you find the directory of all the ITServe members, and this is also where you can create what we call the preferred vendor circles. And on the bottom left, on your initials or your picture, you will be able to click here and find your settings, so where you can invite members and invite other team members, manage your account, like sort of your settings on certain jobs. There's some customizations that you will be able to do here. You can manage your company profile, upload your picture and some company information. And also you will find our help center and support. So anytime you have a question or any of your team members have questions, you can always click that. It will open the chat on the right-hand side, and you can send us a message. We are usually pretty fast to respond. So if there's any urgent questions or your team members have anything, you can always message us. If there is any like specific demos that you want for your team, you can always reach out to us. We're probably happy to schedule something individually. But for now, please make sure that if you have questions, either if there are technical questions, please message them here. If there are ITServe related questions, ideally to Dasrat, depends on the topic. Alrighty, so we covered sort of the sign up, so you know how to get access to the product. Remember that we have the workflow where you create one owner account, and then from there you can go in here to your settings on the left-hand side and invite more users. So that's the way how we would like to have it. Ideally, this way you can basically have an overview which of your team members have access to the job board. If they leave your team, you can remove them again. So you have a good overview of the entire process. All right, then I will start now and basically go through the 4 items that I've mentioned before. I will show you how to share a job, how to submit candidates to other members' jobs, add candidates to the hot list, and also find candidates. Let's maybe start with the hot list. I really like this feature. We actually recently just released it, and we are working to improving it every day. So if there's specific feedback that you have on that, please let me know. The hot list is basically a little bit replacing the daily email workflow that some of your team members maybe do, like sharing distribution lists or attaching candidates and emails and sharing it to members and maybe other clients. In this case, you will have an aggregated list of all the candidates that are currently available across the entire ITServe community. And you can simply search and request more information about a specific candidate directly from another member. So on the Discover section here, you will basically see a list of all the candidates that are currently on the hot list. You can filter the hot list by skills, so you can basically find candidates by certain skills, by locations, or even a radius. So if you are looking for a specific candidate in a certain location, if the candidate is open for remote work, or the work permits, work experience, and obviously also the community. So you can filter candidates by only ITServe members. If I click that, I will only see candidates that are represented by another ITServe member. So we can actually see here a couple candidates from Unicom, actually I think Dasrat's company. So he has a few candidates that his team has already added. So I can see here, for example, a senior data analyst from Dasrat's company. I can see that the candidate was added a couple days ago, is available in 2 weeks. The bill rate is $64 per hour, $65 per hour. I can see the main skills of the candidate, and now I can view some details about the candidate and then message with Dasrat's team directly and basically request more information from them. So in this case, you don't see the candidate's resume up front. We want to make sure that every ITServe member has the full control over who they are revealing candidate data to. So in this particular case, you can find candidates, view basic snippets about the candidate, like the candidate's skills, the location, relocation options, the visa, the work permit, and so on. And then if you have questions, you can just message the other team member, in this case Dasrat's team, or simply press request CV and then request the resume from Dasrat's team. In this case now, the Dasrat's team will receive a notification that somebody has requested a candidate. They will be able to instantly see who it is and then reply on the messenger here directly. This messenger is also like a email parsing. So it means that if you write a message, if you leave the job board and you have the browser closed, you don't always have to come back to that messenger. We will always notify you or send you the same messages via email, so you can always come back to the same thread. It's pretty cool. So now in this case, all of the candidates that are represented by other ITServe members across the entire community can be viewed and searched here and requested. The cool thing is that the candidates here are only available for 14 days. And have to be refreshed resumes. It will really be a list of currently available talent on the market represented by other ITServe members that you can tap into. So I showed you how to find candidates. Obviously now I'm gonna quickly show you how you can add your candidates and promote them to the ITServe community. We will stay on this screen here. You can simply switch to my find candidates and my available candidates here on the left-hand side. I can see I have one available candidate right now, currently active on the hot list as an example. I can see that the candidate is ending in 14 days, so I will be able to refresh the list. I can take the candidate off the hot list again, and here are some other informations. So now what I will do is simply add a few more candidates to the hot list. I can simply press the Add Candidate button on the top. I can pick a resume. So if I have the candidate's resume, I can drag and drop the resume here into this screen, and now the system will parse in the candidate data. As you saw previously, we are not revealing any of the candidate resume data to any other member, but we are using the data for the search. So basically, you already enter the candidate's resume in here, we parse in the data, you can see the candidate is now ready, I can press next. The information is already pre-filled in most cases. You will also find skills on this particular resume. I see there is no skills parse, so I can add them here. So for example, certain technology skills, I can add the job title. Typically, it should be available here. Let me see if I can maybe find a candidate that has all of the data. I'm just gonna pick another resume just to make it more realistic. All right, this one should be working. Oh, yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. So basically, what you'll see is if you parse in a resume, you will find all the information here. So I can put in here, for example, Java developer. I can check the work experience of the candidates, the availability of the candidates. I can say where the candidate is currently located. So if the candidate is in a certain location, I can check if the candidate is open for remote work and also the locations that the candidate is willing to relocate to. I can also check if the candidate has currently a work permit, like a green card. I can also add my desired bill rate, as well as now check where I want to share the candidate to. In this case, you want to share it to the entire ITServe Alliance community. So you can pick ITServe Alliance. If you pick Gustav Global Hotlist, this will basically make the candidate visible to anybody that is using Gustav. So we have a couple hundred more companies that are using Gustav today outside of the ITServe environment. You can still check that. Just be aware that you might get requests from customers or people that are not necessarily ITServe members. If that's desired, you can still do that. If you only want to share it with the ITServe Alliance group, you can do that as well. Then you simply press next and publish the candidate. Now the candidate was published, is visible to all ITServe members on the hot list. I can now wait for requests to come in. You will see how many people have viewed the candidate. Anytime somebody requests the resume or is looking to have a question, you will see all the messages popping in here. And you can also then switch between the team members. So if you have multiple recruiters adding candidates to the hot list, as a manager, you can look at all the requests across your entire team by just switching between your account and the other user accounts here. So that was basically now how to find candidates on the hot list, how to add your candidates to the hot list. I have another additional feature that we are just actually in the process of releasing, which we call sharing hot list outside of the job board. So maybe there is use cases where you want to take the hot list that you have added here, but share it with your customers or maybe with other members, basically via email. You can grab a shared link here, and this will then open your public, hot list link that you can share on LinkedIn, that you can share with customers and clients, and basically without having a login. So they don't need a login to request candidates from you. They can simply search all of the candidates that you have on the hot list, enter their email address, and then send you a request and message with you. So that's a pretty cool feature specifically for those members that are actively working with a lot of bench candidates, where you're actively trying to promote the candidates to specific customers. You'll be able to brand this in your company colors with your logo. So this basically looks like your shared link, and it's super easy. If you have already added your candidates to the hot list, you can simply grab the link and then share it on LinkedIn, for example, to get additional requests. So test it out. Let me know how it works for you, and I would love to hear your feedback on that particular use case here as well. Alrighty. So now let's move on to the job section, where I can briefly show you how you can find jobs from other members and also share your jobs to other ITServe members. So let's do the finding jobs first. If you click on the job section on the top left, you will see the marketplace, and then you can hit the filter that says communities. Communities is basically all of the jobs that have been shared by other ITServe members. You will now see a list of open job opportunities. You can see some have been posted a day ago, some have been posted a couple days ago. You can filter the list by job titles, skills, locations, job types, work permits, clients, and so on. So you can also search here for specific jobs and also set up alerts if you want to receive, for example, specific information or daily or weekly updates about certain job types that are coming in. And now, if you're interested in a particular opportunity that has been shared by another member, you can simply click on the job. It will open all the job details. So you can see here, this is a demo job actually that I have posted before, just to show you how to submit candidates. So you can see that, with the company that has posted the job, the assigned recruiter. So this is my demo recruiter, Mike Jones here. In this particular case, I would, display the end client, so it would be visible here. I can see the bill rate for this particular job. I can see the location, the vacancies, and all other job information that is here. If I would have a candidate now that is really a good candidate for this particular job opportunity, I can simply hit submit candidate. So now I can just drag and drop a candidate's resume again, like I did before. It will again parse the resume and pre-fill some of the information. And then I simply hit submit, and my candidate would be automatically submitted to the other ITServe member. They get a notification. They can message with me about the specific candidate, and we can exchange information if the candidate is a good fit for that job. So you can see here, the candidate's information is some of that is pre-filled. I can enter now my desired bill rates. I have some other options like entering the candidate's phone number, Skype ID, the employment information. So if the candidate is on my W-2, and if there's a specific work permit, I can enter additional information about the candidate. I also can enter the candidate's current location to make sure that this is available here. I can also check if the candidate is willing to relocate, and then simply hit submit candidate now to the other member. Super easy. You just drag and drop the resume, fill in a couple more informations, and then submit the candidate. Now the other member, in this case Mike Jones, receives an email notification that a new candidate submission has been made. I can actually also show you how this looks like on an email. So basically every new job, every new candidate submission, every new hot list will receive an email notification. So you can see here on my email, it says I got a new candidate submission for my job. I can click on that and immediately see basically the candidate's name, who supplied the candidate. If I would click on the button, it will directly take me to the candidate on the job. So it's pretty cool. There is basically no need for you to monitor the platform. Anytime something happens, you will get notified. So now I showed you how to submit a candidate. I'm going to briefly show you where you can find all of your submitted candidates for particular jobs. So you can click on this card here, submitted candidates, and you will see all of the candidates that you have ever submitted for this job opportunity. You will see if the other ITServe member has actually looked at the job. If they have messaged you, you will receive the message here as well. So you can click on the candidate and find a direct messenger where you can also follow up on the candidate submission if needed, and also submit additional documents. So in the future, maybe you submitted a candidate and you have additional documents that you need to submit. You can do that right here as well. What's pretty cool is, and I want to briefly show you, if you see a job from another ITServe member and you have questions about the job, you can always go to the Q&A section on the top right here, and you can ask a question which will directly be visible then to the other member. So maybe there is job opportunities where you are missing some information, where you want to find out some more details about the job. You can just use the Q&A and basically keep the conversation going here on a specific job directly with other members through this thread here. All right, so I showed you how to find jobs on the marketplace. Again, this is a high-level demo, so there is some other details to it where, obviously you can go through it yourself later on. If you have questions or if you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be always happy to help. So now I will briefly show you how you can actually share a job with another member. I can click on my company's jobs here. I can see that I have 0 jobs at the moment. This is how the screen will look like for you as well. You can then click on the Post New Job button on the top right. Now you find a way to basically post a job. You can type in the job type, if it's a corp-to-corp job, if it's a direct hire, or if it's a referral fee. Let's assume this is a corp-to-corp job, and let's say this is a Java developer. There is 3 open jobs. The end client is optional. You can theoretically show and display the end client, but this is not needed. This is an optional field. And you will see that most of the fields here are optional, so it's not really necessary to complete all of the information. You can really just have, a couple details about the job, like the job title and the job description, and then you can post it. If you'd like, you can complete all of the information. This will obviously help other members to make sure that the more information they get, the better submissions they can make. You can choose if the location of the job is on-site or remote. You can obviously have here saved locations as well. I can say that this job is currently in New York. The state is also New York. And there it's all for additional information. I can check the date, so what the date for the job is, if it's as soon as possible, and also the duration, if the job is likely to be extended. And now I can pick the rate that I'm looking for. So it could be per hour or per day. You could say the rate is open. So basically other members should just submit candidates and suggest the best rates, or you can say that you can only pay $90 bill rate per hour for this particular job. You can now pick visa restrictions if there is restrictions on visas, and if the candidate would need to be on the W-2 of your partner, right? So if there's any other layers allowed in the market, interview information, candidate requirements, most of those things are optional, so you can go through this by yourself and check if you want to add it. You can enter a job description, so you can copy paste that if you have that available. You can also add additional information to vendors, so if you have specific other information about the job, you can add them here. You can also attach documents, so if there's like interview questions or anything important that your partner needs to download, you can add that here. Then you can assign another member. So for example, if you have 10 recruiters, you can assign other recruiters here to receive notifications on that job. And then last but not least, you can pick who to share the job with. You can select the vendor, select ITServe Alliance, and then select the entire community, and then publish the job. You can see already a little bit over 160 other ITServe members are in the community. So we will be adding more and more members. So in the future, you'll hopefully have a little bit over 1,000 companies here that you can actually share the jobs with. It's super easy. You can simply hit ITServe Alliance, select the entire community, and now the job will be visible to all of the members at once. You can obviously also select individual companies. If you only want to share the job with Linkwell Solutions, for example, you can do that. But ideally, you would have the option to share it with everybody. I will in a second show you how we can create what we call circles. So those are like preferred groups of partners. You will find that here as well. So basically, instead of sharing it to everybody, you can create a group and then pick only 10 preferred partners that you actually want to distribute the job to. But we will get to that in a minute. So after I have selected everybody, I can hit publish, or I can save the job as a draft. If I want to share it later, or if I want to pre-create a couple of jobs, I can always save them as drafts and then reactivate the job later on. So it's super easy. You know, in some cases, maybe you have specific job openings that you're always posting. You want to pre-create them, and then just with a click of a button, activate. You can always do that by creating a draft. Let me see, I'm going to activate the job now just to make sure to show you how it looks like. Just going to check if all the information is added here. There is something missing here. All right, should be good to go. I'm just going to post it now to everybody. I'm going to delete the job later on. So now the job is published. You can see that 168 other members can see the job now. You can always view who has visibility into a job. As soon as somebody clicked on the job, you will also see which members have already viewed the job opportunity. So it's pretty cool. And anytime you receive new candidates, you will be able to find them here on this, what we call like, applicant tracking system. So every time a new candidate submission comes in, you will see that here on the submitted stage. You'll be able to move the cards and message with other members directly here. So it's pretty convenient. All of the submissions from other partners will be here in one place. You will also find a section that says candidates received. So if you want to see all of the candidates that you have ever received by members, you can do that as well. You can send update messages on each job to all of the members just to make sure if you want to update something. If you update the job description, it will obviously be visible to everybody. You can pause a job. So for example, if you have enough candidate submissions from partners, you can just hit pause. You can also close the job. This will make the job disappear from the job board, so nobody will be able to see the job anymore. And you can also do things like edit or duplicate the job. So if, for example, if there's anything missing, you can always edit the job later. And if you only share the job, for example, to 1 or 2 members, but you suddenly want to share it to everybody, you will be always able to do that here. You can always extend listings that are already shared and share it to somebody else. So that was high level, how to share a job, how to find jobs, how to submit candidates. I guess there are gonna be a couple questions, so we can go through those later on. But last but not least, I will show you briefly how you can create what we call follower circles and where you can find the members in the community. So then you can go to the to the network section here, and you will see that we have something that we call followers and following. So followers are basically your preferred partners. You will not see any followers here, most likely, if it's a new account. So to create what we call a circle, you would need to connect with the other member first. So how this works is you can go to the community. You can find the ITServe Alliance member community here, where you can see a directory of all the members that are in the community already. And you will be able to then click on a specific company, let's say ITSources. You will now see the entire ITSources profile. So you can see an about section. You can leave ratings to a specific company. You can see client industries and roles. And now if I would like to connect with that partner and add them to my follower or like my preferred partner list, you have to quick request a vendor. And you can request a vendor to follow you so they can see your jobs, or you can request a vendor to follow them so you can see their jobs. Ideally, you click both, send the request, and then after ITSources accepts my request, I will be able to add that company to what I call a circle. So that's the workflow. Basically, you connect with a partner. If they accept your connection, like on LinkedIn, all right, you'll be able to add them to a group. So I prepared a couple requests. So for example, if you receive a request from another partner, this is how it will look like. You will see this little notification here. I have 2 examples. Recruiting Inc. and IT Technologies Gustav Demo is requesting me as a partner. I can just view the request, check if I want to follow them and if they should follow me. And now I can respond to the request, and then now they become a partner. I will do the same with the other company. So I can quickly show you how to create vendor lists. So now I don't have any open requests anymore, but I can now find the 2 partners here on my follower list. So they now became my preferred vendors that I have in my group. And I can now create what I call circles. So the circle could be, for example, my top 10 partners for Java jobs, or my top 10 partners in a certain region. Or you could also do it by chapter, for maybe you have certain chapters that want to work with each other. You can, for example, create the, I don't know, like, let's say New York, maybe New York chapter. So now I created my New York chapter list. I can add my preferred vendors to my New York chapter list. Now they are in here. I can, from this section here, also send update messages to my preferred vendors. So if there's any notifications I want to send, I can do that right from here. But now if I would go back to my job section and I hit post job and I scroll all the way down, I will now see my circles. So this is basically where you can create your preferred vendor groups. And then while sharing a job, instead of sharing it with all members of ITServe, you can just share them, for example, with the New York chapter or with specific groups that you created. Now, when I press publish, only the members from that specific circle will be able to see the job and nobody else. So that's another benefit for ITServe members here. Where you can not only share unlimited jobs with specific, like with the entire group, but you will also be able to create the preferred groups. So this will basically help you to also build out maybe specific vendor partner programs, maybe for certain customers where you only work with preferred vendors on the system. So again, the workflow is first connecting with a partner. Again, super easy. You just click on communities, find the profile or the partner that you want to connect with, click on their profile, and then hit request as vendor. As soon as they accept your request, you will be able to create your circles and add them to the circle, and then find that circle on the job section. One more thing, because I see it here, for example, with this company, they don't have a logo yet, maybe just a small description. I think for example, the ITServe profile looks really good. They have an about section. They have what roles they specialize in. They have their contact details. Their team is visible here, so they can find who else is on the Gustav account. You can see their phone numbers and email addresses if you need to reach out to the team. So basically, this will also help you to see who is active, which other recruiters are active, who else is posting jobs. If you are specifically working with a recruiter that you really like, that always has available candidates, I can maybe see here. I could find Dasrat's profile, which also looks really good. I can look at the team now, and for example, look at Ashwin's profile. If I click on Ashwin's profile, I can see all the candidates that Ashwin has currently on his bench, and search the candidates on this individual profile as well. So this could help you to, for example, if you are specifically working with a recruiter from another member, simply look at their profile. You will find their candidates here. You will see when they have, if they are active, if they are currently online, and so on. All right, so those were most of the things. I know we have another, 15 minutes or so. So I want to use the time for some Q&A. So I will switch back to the demo here, or to my screen, and maybe we can just jump into some questions. And then, if there's specific questions about the product, I can jump back to the features.
Yep. Thank you, Jan. Thanks for covering most of it. And I have a few common questions, like most of the members may be wondering. So I'll ask those, and we'll get on to some of the members' questions. Most of them I think Rupesh already answered, but I'm going to answer it anyway, so that others will be get clarified on those questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I post a requirement on Gustav, so if I wanted to share it on LinkedIn or any other social media sites, So do you have integration, and what are all the social media integrations that you have, and how to get published in social media?
So you can now publish candidates through the link. We don't have the opportunity to do that with jobs yet. We'll most likely have that where you can share your job opportunities also on social media. For now, you will be able to just like publicly. So to view jobs, you would have to have a Gustav account. So you can certainly share a link of a job to another ITServe member or to somebody else that has Gustav. But really outside of the system, if you want to share it with somebody that has never heard about Gustav or the system or ITServe, this is currently only possible with bench candidates. So you can grab what I said here on the hot list, your public link. This link basically is public. So it means that you don't, like somebody else that is looking at the link does not need to have a login. They will just basically see all the candidates that you are sharing. They can enter their email address here on that link and then connect with you. So this would be a good use case. For example, if you are looking to promote your bench candidates, you could create the hot list. It's shared to all ITServe members, but then you grab the link and post it on LinkedIn, maybe to a community or to your followers or whatever, right? So they can access the link anytime and see who you currently have available and then request candidates from you. We'll be looking to maybe extend this functionality to jobs where you'll be able to share your jobs potentially publicly as well, but this is currently not available. Yeah.
Okay, so the hot list can be published, but not the jobs.
Correct. Jobs can only be published within ITServe, within the group, or with somebody else that also has a Gustav account. Then they can certainly view the job, but there is no way to publish a job like publicly on job boards or whatever, right? Or like LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any integration with any other the traditional job sites like Dice or Monster or anywhere we can integrate by posting a requirement here? Is there any integration with other job sites?
Not yet, no. As we are not necessarily, like a traditional like applicant tracking system, so to say. So we haven't built any integrations with traditional job board sites. We currently have an XML export that you can activate. You can go to your settings and you'll see XML feed. Theoretically, you could export jobs from the marketplace. If another job board has an XML feed, you could fetch that and share it directly from here. But this needs to be set up. So, but there is no direct integration with Dice or Indeed or anything like that. We have integrations with applicant tracking systems. So, for example, with JobDiva or with Bullhorn. So, if, for example, if you have a job in Bullhorn and you want to share that job from Bullhorn to the ITServe job board, you can certainly do that by activating the integration. You can do the same with JobDiva, and we're currently in conversations with Urban and CPAL to enable similar integrations to basically down the road be able to share candidate data and job data between the applicant tracking system and the ITServe job board.
Okay, and what are the housekeeping tasks that our members should remember or train on their staff? So do they need to keep removing the jobs and the placed hot list candidates, or does the system does automatically?
So right now, the hot list candidates are taken offline from the hot list after 14 days if they are not refreshed. So there is no to do from your end unless you want to refresh the candidate if the candidate is still available. So that's taken care of. Jobs on the community are currently not being taken offline, or I believe maybe after 30 days. I'll have to check with my product team, to be honest. I think there's no deactivation of jobs at this point. So what this means is the job will be on the list as long as you keep the job on the list. So anytime a job is already filled, your team should take a look and then essentially just close the job. So you could always go to your active jobs, click on the job, and then basically here, pause it, close it, or duplicate it. So if I close the job, it will be gone from the community side. If it's paused, only the members that have submitted candidates to me will see the job. everybody else will not be able to view it anymore. But unless you close the job, it will always be visible to other members in the community. So this would be a housekeeping task to view which jobs have been already potentially closed, and then just take it offline from the job board. Yeah.
Okay, so the hot list gets refreshed automatically every 15 days, but the jobs need to be closed by whoever is posting it.
Correct. That's right.
Okay. Okay, great. And so we have the CPAL kind of the like a platinum sponsors that we have. A lot of our members use them as their ATS. So do you have any like a work in progress to integrate with CPAL?
Actually, our team is already messaging with their product team. So the first integration will most likely be the XML feed, and then a couple others will follow. It requires us to open the APIs and make it more documented to enable the CPAL team to easily fetch the data and work on it. But yeah, it's currently already in discussion. So I saw my product team was actually messaging back and forth with the CPAL team. So I would be able to update you pretty soon on the progress there. Yeah.
Okay, how about the integration with any of the VMS systems? So if a job out there in a VMS, is there a way to integrate? Do you have any of them already in sync?
No integrations with VMSs so far. Okay. But again, if there is, for example, an easy way to fetch, in this case, most likely the use case would be fetching a job from the VMS and either adding it to the marketplace for everybody else to view and submit candidates somehow. It really depends on the workflow. Typically, you would have to, as a company, submit the candidate into the VMS directly or from your ATS. So I know that Bullhorn, for example, or JobDiva have integrations with some of the VMSs. I believe CPAL does as well. So you could submit candidates from the ATS somehow directly into a Fieldglass or a Beeline or any other VMS out there. We currently don't have that, as we essentially sit between the ATS and sort of your vendors, right? So the ultimate path for the candidate would be the ATS and the VMS. So it's JobBoard, like ITServe, JobBoard, ATS, VMS. But if there are specific use cases where you have, a lot of jobs that are coming from certain VMSs and you want to have them on the job marketplace visible to members, or for example, somehow match the because we've been already working on this, matching the hot list, for example, with open jobs to quickly identify the right candidates across the entire community. So if there's certain use cases like that, let us know, and we'll be happy to look into that on an individual basis.
Okay, so I'll go over some of the questions that members have. So somebody posted, why my job post is getting delayed to approve. It is taking more than 24 hours by the time we are losing the opportunity to submit the profiles.
Got it. So that question is basically solved with the community. I know that we have a functionality here that we call global jobs. So you could theoretically share jobs on Gustav with any vendor on Gustav. It's a feature that some companies are using, but maybe Srikant, instead of sharing it to the community here, if you go to the job section, if you post a job, if you scroll all the way down, you can see there's select vendors and you have communities. If you post it to the community, the job is immediately visible to the entire community. If you post it to globally, share global on Gustav, there is a review from our team. Sometimes it takes longer, but in your case, I would highly recommend to just use the ITServe community. The global jobs option is not really relevant for you in this case. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to that, the question. So we had some issues like when people are not completely updated their profile on the system. So that is not getting posted. That is one I saw. And the second one is like if you are missing out on some of the mandatory information, like the rate for the position, or is it a full-time or a contract, those kind of mandatory information, if you are not filling up, so it is not getting approved. So be vigilant on those.
Cool.
The
Yeah.
VMS portal integration we already covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, so if some for some other vendor is already registered with a Gustav through I think so they already have an account, and if they wanted to maintain both the account, is there a possibility?
Got it. Certainly. So in this case, please reach out to us. It's no problem for you to have it under the same account. You would just need to claim it. Like you basically press the sign in with GlueUp through the single sign on. So our system detects that you are an active ITServe member. But let us know which of those accounts that is. In some cases, companies have created 5 or 6 company accounts. And then if you do the single sign on, our system is not able to detect to which company the user should be assigned. So if there is one company and you press the single sign on, we automatically match the user with that company. But in some cases, maybe your team members have in the past, a year ago, created a Gustav account for whatever reason. They have been invited. So then you have multiple company accounts on Gustav, and then the single sign-on will not detect which company you should be assigned to. So if you already have a Gustav account today, and if it's not connected to ITServe, please feel free to message us. We will take a look at that individually to make sure that you're all set up and that your team works all under the same account and you don't have to maintain multiple Gustav accounts in the future. But certainly possible. So if you have a Gustav account today that is not connected to ITServe, it's certainly possible to just sign in with single sign-on, and then it should be connected automatically.
Okay, great. So if a particular recruiter wants updates of notification on an added job, all the members are getting those notifications. So is there a way to limit the notifications for particular recruiter that is, requires those notifications?
Let me see. Let me read that question again. If only one particular recruiter wants updates on notifications. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So there is a way to assign users on a specific job. So let's say you have a job on a marketplace. I can go in and assign users here. So let's say you have a specific job where you submitted candidates to. You can assign just one user, and then nobody else from the team will receive emails, just this one particular user that is assigned. The same is true for jobs that you have shared. So let's say I shared a job and I only want me to receive email notifications. I'm now the only user assigned. But if I would have more users here, I could assign other users to receive those emails as well. So on the jobs that are on the marketplace, as well as on the jobs that you are sharing, you can always decide who should receive notifications and assign a specific user here. You can find it there is a big button that says assignees, and then from here, that's determining who will receive email notifications.
Okay, so the particular job you need to make an assignee so that he is the only one gets that notification.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, can we search partners by locations for the circles?
Yeah, for sure. So if you go to communities, you can click on ITServe Alliance, and here you can just go to the list, and you can search by vendor name, by location, by industries, and by roles. So if you're looking for specific partners in a specific location from ITServe, you can just search by whatever location they have added as headquarters, and then you'll be able to click on their profile and add them to circles. I would recommend, if you're looking to create circles by location, you can create a follower circle, as I said, by New York, and then you will find all of the partners that are in New York by just searching the headquarter location here on the search.
Okay. So on submitting resume to a requirement to recruiter A, was there any tool that prevents the same resume to be submitted to another recruiter B from the same consulting firm for the same requirement?
Got it. So it's like a deduplication. This is currently not available. So you could essentially, if there is one job and there is 3 companies, and all three vendors have the same candidate that they're submitting to one particular job opportunity, all three candidates would be submitted, and there would be no way to show if there is a duplicate candidate. We've been already looking into this. It's certainly possible for us to detect that, for example, by using, if you're adding the candidate's email ID or a specific other identification, usually the email ID, then we could show a company or show you, hey, this candidate was already submitted. But then, we could visualize that. So we could show, hey, this candidate maybe is already in the pipeline, but we most likely would be able also to prevent submissions if the candidate is in the pipeline. We would just need to define what the workflow should be. Then the other crucial thing is that the candidate email ID is most likely the unique identifier. So if you would enter your email ID or some, another email ID of a candidate, then the identifier would not be detected. But certainly, the answer to your question is no. There is no deduplication. Multiple same candidates could be submitted to the same job by multiple vendors. If there is a need for some sort of deduplication visualization, we could certainly look at that and put that on the roadmap.
Okay, so even from the same company, also multiple recruiters can submit to the same thing. Okay, so they need to be vigilant about that.
Yes, correct.
Okay, who's submitting what?
Yes, correct.
Okay, does the Gustav send any email alerts to all the ITServe or Gustav for each new job posting or hotlist posted?
Yes. So if you are in the ITServe community, you receive a job notification for each job, and you can change that. So for example, if you don't want to receive a notification for each job that is posted in the ITServe community, you can just go to Marketplace Notifications, and you can say new jobs by communities. Should I receive a notification for all jobs, or should I never receive a notification? And for partners as well. So you could deactivate that for the marketplace, but you could also set, for example, what we call here on your settings. Let's see, that's on the account settings, you have notifications. So you could also say, I would like to receive job updates daily, weekly, or never. So you could also get like a weekly digest of all the jobs that are in there. And also browser notifications. So you could activate it on your Chrome browser to receive a notification anytime a new job is being posted. So there's multiple ways. If it's annoying for you to receive an email for each job, you can always deactivate it. In any case, you will receive one. Yeah.
Okay, so is this setting like a company-wide setting, or can individual recruiters can make these settings?
That's an individual user setting, yeah.
Okay. Is there a plan to make this a full-blown ATS, or keep it as a collaboration tool for jobs and candidate sharing?
That's a good question. There might be some opportunities for us to continue building this out, but we don't have plans for it right now. So the goal here is really to keep it as a collaboration job board platform, and we will integrate with other applicant tracking systems. So there is currently no plans from our end to essentially extend this to a full applicant tracking system. For those smaller companies that don't have a need for an ATS, this might do the job. If you only have a hot list, you can upload all your hot list candidates here and manage them, like a very lightweight way to manage your bench list. But that's pretty much it. So we are going to focus on extending functionality of the product in the future, more to collaboration and more to sort of more to the like a VMS side of the house versus the applicant tracking side. Yeah.
Okay, how are you advertising Gustav to encourage more individuals to upload their resumes to a specific requisitions and searching for jobs and matching their skills?
Sure. So for the ITServe, specific projects, we'll have webinars with you guys. We'll have maybe some more collaboration around chapter meetings to make sure that the members are being invited to the job board, as well as, I guess, some ideas from Dashrat about the promotion here.
Yeah, I think they're talking about the individuals. So this is strictly corp to corp portal. So we are not giving access to any individuals. So it has to be like between corporation to corporation. Only recruiters will have access to share anything.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, can I assign a candidate from my firm or to a partner firm and release full control on candidate?
Assigning meaning like sending a candidate. So, yeah,
I didn't understand either.
Yeah, so like assigning a candidate. So like again, like if it's on specifically to the hot list, if you add a candidate, you get a request. You can reveal the candidate resume and the data, and then chat with the other member to see if there is a fit on a placement. There is no real specific assigning in this case, or anything that happens technically. Right. But yeah.
Yeah. So what the expectation is, so the recruiters are going to post the any candidate's profile, but not revealing their contact details upfront. So you are going to work with the other side recruiter, and once the position details and the rate everything matches, then you are going to release the candidate details to be secure.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the recruiters get a different login? Yes. Yeah. All the recruiters. Okay. So so this is going to, after you create your company account, this is going to be independent of the single sign-on. So whatever the account manager logins and the recruiter access that you are giving, they will have their own access to the tool. So only the company owners will have the company access with a single sign-on with a glow up, but the individual recruiters will have their own login to log in and post.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that's all the questions that I can see.
See another one that says, are all the features available to all users? Yep, all the features are available to all ITServe users. So everything that I showed you today, sharing jobs, sharing hot list candidates, creating circles, that's all available to all ITServe members. There is specific premium features like ATS integrations that you can specifically or individually reach out to the Gustav team, to Rupesh. He'll be happy to help you with that. If there are other ATS integrations or specific individual projects, if you have any specific ideas, we can certainly help and look at that in detail. But all the functionalities that you saw today are all included and free of cost to all ITServe members, included in sort of the membership that you have with ITServe.
And so somebody is asking, can you mass mail to all the candidates who fit the search criteria?
No, there's no sort of mass mailing or like SMS capabilities here. Yeah.
Okay. What is the type referral in jobs section?
Oh, got it. That's a good point. Let me quickly explain that. So there is 3 job types that you can share on Gustav. Let me open it here. So the one job type is the typical corp to corp. So that's where your partner has the candidate on their W-2 and you do a pass through to the end client. Direct hire, pretty clear. You would pay like an annual salary referral to get the candidate from another vendor. And then referral fee would basically be a corp to corp sort of arrangement, but the candidate is on your W-2 and you would just pay an hourly kickback to the other partner that submitted the candidate. So in cases where, for example, you have corp to corp restrictions with your end clients, but you have other partners that have good candidates, you could take the candidate on your W-2 and then still pay the partner, and typically an hourly referral for helping finding the candidate. So it's not entirely corp to corp, but it's essentially like a hourly placement fee that you pay to the partner based on referring a candidate.
Yeah, so just to let all the members know that we are even thinking of coming up with a common agreement to adhere to some of the rules that we are thinking. So that is still discussions in progress. Once the executive board decide to go with it, so we might include these points also, like if somebody who are assuming all these referral, or somebody's posting any contract to hire, or like a W2 positions.
Yes.
So yeah, those some of the terms that we wanted to come up with a common agreement.
Yeah, got it. Perfect.
Yeah, I think so. We passed 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. So I think we covered most of the questions, Jan. So I have one request to all the members. So this is going to be a great help for all the members, but we need everybody's participation and really to make it potential to use. This is going to be a chicken and egg game initially. So we are even requesting all the executive board members to share their direct client requirements and genuine profiles in this through this portal, so that people really see the value in it. So we put in a lot of efforts to bring you this tool to you. So Jan knows what is the struggle we went through. So even it's been an year we've been struggling to get this on board. So now we have the real good tool available. It is participation that is required from all the members. So please don't post any layered requirements or any borrowed consultants. We want people to post only genuine requirements and only your W2 consultants. Or if you have any right to represent, then only please share through this system. So we are going to constantly monitor the quality, and if we see any misuse, so we are going to pursue that. We are going to bring it to your attention. So we really need all the members' participation to make it successful. Thanks for attending today's call. Thanks, Jan and Rupesh, for your time and valuable demo.
Cool.
Thank
Thank you so much, Dasrat. Thanks everybody for
Thank you,
joining.
Dasrat.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me or Rupesh personally. Otherwise, we'll be monitoring the signups from members. So if there's questions or if there's any technical issues, please also let us know. We'll be happy to help on an individual basis. And please, bear with us if there is somebody that is not able to sign up, or if there's somebody that has double or free accounts. We will make sure to help every member to get started and get set up and get their individual users on board to make this a success.
Yeah, we are planning to have many more sessions, moving forward, and we will have like a chapter level sessions where all the members can bring their recruiting team so that they can get trained through this, and we'll have these recordings available through the portal as well. Okay, thanks
Cool.
for joining the call. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.